Hello everyone, in this video I will discuss about the slider crank mechanism. So it has 3 turning pair and 1 sliding pair. You can see here this is the fixed link which I have considered as link 1. This crank is link 2. This is a connecting rod and this slider is the link 4. The cylinder is also grounded, so it is also a fixed link, and the slider is the link 4. So the link 1 and link 2 forms a turning pair. Link 2 and link 3 forms a turning pair. Link 3 and slider forms a turning pair, and the slider and the fixed link, slider slides about the fixed link, so they form a sliding pair. So it has 3 turning pair and 1 sliding pair. So we'll discuss about its inversion. That means we'll fix different links and we'll observe what kind of mechanism we can achieve. So we'll study about the inversion of slider crank mechanism. First inversion is the pendulum pump. Here the cylinder and the two cylinders, they are fixed, so they are considered as one link. This is the crank and this is the connecting rod and the piston rod. So piston rod is link 1, connecting rod is link 3, crank is link 2, and cylinder is link 4. So what will happen when the crank will rotate? The connecting rod, it will oscillate, so because of which the piston rod will move and the piston is attached to the piston rod. So when the piston rod will move, the piston will reciprocate inside the cylinder. So basically it converts the rotary motion into reciprocating motion, the rotary motion of crank into reciprocating motion of the piston. Here there are 3 turning pairs, so the crank and connecting rod, they form one turning pair, this piston rod and crank form another turning pair, and this connecting rod and this piston rod, they form another turning pair, and this piston rod, they move in the same direction, so they are same link, and this piston reciprocates with respect to the cylinder, so it forms a sliding pair. So basically it converts the rotary motion of crank into the reciprocating motion of the piston. You can see here in the animation, you can see here this red portion is the crank and the blue one is the connecting rod. Here two pistons are attached to the two cylinders. You can see here when the crank is rotating, the connecting rod is also oscillating, so because of which the piston rod is attached to the connecting rod, so piston rod is moving according to the movement of the connecting rod. So the piston is attached to the piston rod, so piston is reciprocating inside the cylinder. This yellow portion is a fixed part, that is the cylinder. So you can see here it is converting the rotary motion of the crank into the reciprocating motion of the piston. Next is the oscillating cylinder engine. Here the connecting rod is a fixed part, so here we are fixing the connecting rod. This is the crank. Connecting rod is link 3, crank is link 2, piston is link 1, and this cylinder is link 4. Here cylinder is not fixed, so when the crank will rotate, so the piston rod, it will oscillate, so piston is inside the cylinder, so piston will reciprocate inside the cylinder, and the cylinder will also, cylinder is not fixed, so it will also oscillate due to the movement of piston rod, so it will oscillate about the fixed point A. So that's why we are calling it as oscillating cylinder engine. This video, the cylinder is pivoted about this fixed point, this blue portion, so it is fixed about this point, and here the connecting rod is fixed. So this is the cylinder, this white portion is the cylinder, this is the piston, and this is the piston rod, and this is the crank. So you can see here when the crank is rotating, so the piston rod is also moving, so because of which the piston is reciprocating inside the cylinder, as well as the cylinder is oscillating about this fixed point. We will discuss about the rotor internal combustion engine. It was earlier days it was used in aviation. So it is 7 cylinders. So all are attached to this fixed point D, and this is the crank. Here the crank is fixed, and this connecting rod, it rotates about the fixed point D. So because of the movement of connecting rod, this piston also reciprocates inside the cylinder. See here the connecting rod is one link, crank is fixed link, the cylinder is another link, and the piston is another link. So you can see here. So here the crank is fixed and this connecting rod is rotating. So all are rotating about this fixed point. So because of the movement of connecting rod, because of the rotation of connecting rod, this piston is reciprocating inside the cylinder. About the crank and slotted lever quick return mechanism. This is basically used to reduce the time of return stroke, because in the cutting stroke, in the forward stroke, this is a cutting stroke, so in that case we require the a longer time, but while returning the tool to its original position we don't require that much of travel time. So basically we reduce the time taken by the uh, basically we reduce the time of return stroke. So this is used in shaping and slotting machine. You can see here the construction. So this slider is the one link, this crank is another link, this is fixed part is the third link, and this slotted bar is the fourth link. So what happens when the crank rotates? So because of the rotation of crank, this slider is attached at point B to this crank, so it will reciprocate, or it will slide inside the slotted bar. This slotted bar is fixed or pivoted to this point A, so it also oscillates about this point. So this when it oscillates about this point, fixed point A, so it oscillates like this. So it is at so a connecting rod is attached to the end this point P of this slotted bar. So when the slotted bar oscillates, so this connecting rod will also move like this, forward or backward, it will also oscillate about this point P. So this connecting rod is attached to the ram, and this ram is at the cutting tool is attached to the ram. So this ram will reciprocate. So it will move from R2 or R2 R1, I mean in the cutting stroke or in the return stroke. So this line which is tangent to this circle, that is the circle which through which the crank moves. So this tangent line, this AP2 or AP1 decides the extreme end. So if we will join the line P1 R1 and P2 R2, so this will become a parallelogram. So here R1 R2 equal to P1 P2. So you can see here. So during the cutting stroke or forward stroke, the crank will move from B1 to B2. So in this case the angle observed is beta, and during the return stroke it will move from B2 to B1. So the angle observed is alpha. So the time of cutting stroke by time of return stroke is beta by alpha. So beta plus alpha is 360 degree. So beta is 360 minus alpha. So time of cutting stroke by time of return stroke is 360 minus alpha by alpha. So here the total length of stroke is R1 R2, so that is equal to P1 P2. So this is the center line, this Q is the center point of P1 P2, so that is 2 times P1 Q. So P1, if you will consider this triangle A P1 Q, then this P1 Q equal to A P1 sine of this angle. So sine of this angle is P1 AQ angle. So this is, if this is this angle is alpha, so this is half of this, so this is alpha by 2, this is perpendicular, so this is 90 degree, so this is 90 degree, this is alpha by 2, that means this is 90 minus alpha by 2, so this angle is 90 minus alpha by 2, so this is 2ap1, sine of that angle is 90 minus alpha by 2, so sine 90 minus theta is cos theta, so 2ap1 cos alpha by 2. So cos alpha by 2, if we will consider this triangle, cos alpha is base by hypotenuse, so base is this is this angle is alpha by 2, so cos alpha by, this is alpha by 2, so so this is base, so cos alpha by 2 is b1, I mean c b1 divided by ac, hypotenuse is ac, so 2 into ap into cb1 by ac, so this is the total length of stroke. So cb is the length of the crank, ac is the length of the fixed link, and ap is the length of the slotted bar. So from that we can calculate the length of the stroke. So you can see this animation. So this green circle is the total rotation of the crank. This you can see here, this blue link, this is the slotted portion, and inside the slotted portion this slider is moving. You can see here this red link, so it is moving inside the slotted bar, and this slotted bar is oscillating about this fixed point. And you can see here, this is the connecting rod, so this connecting rod is also moving because of the oscillation of this slotted bar, and this connecting rod is attached to the ram, and this is the cutting tool, so this ram is reciprocating. You can see here the forward stroke, it is taking longer time period, and you can observe that during return stroke it will return quickly. You can see this is the return stroke. And this is the forward stroke. Next is the Whitworth quick return mechanism. It is also used in shaping and slotting machine. Here also we reduce the time of return stroke, so we call it as quick return mechanism. So here this is a fixed link, we'll consider as link 1. This is the link crank, so this is we call it as link 2, and this slider is link 4, and this slotted bar is link 3. So there are 4 links. So when the crank, and this is a fixed link, so crank will rotate about this center C, so it will cover a total revolution. So this slider is placed inside this slotted bar, so this slider will also reciprocate due to the rotation of crank, and because of this slotted bar is fixed to this point A, the slotted bar is pivoted about this point D, so it will oscillate about this point D. So because of the oscillation of this slotted bar, this connecting rod is attached to the slotted bar, so it will also oscillate. So because of the oscillation of connecting rod, this ram will reciprocate. So here the cutting stroke, the angle covered by the cutting stroke is alpha, and the angle covered by the return stroke is beta. That is from A1 to A2 it will cover, it will move during the cutting stroke, so this angle is alpha, and from A2 to A1 it will move during the return stroke, so the angle is beta. So the time of cutting stroke by time of return stroke is alpha by beta. Alpha plus beta is 360 degrees, so this is alpha by 360 minus alpha, or you can write it as 360 minus beta divided by beta. So next we'll see its animation. You can see here. So this green portion is the length, total revolution of the crank. So when the crank will rotate, so this this is a slotted bar. So this orange portion is the sliding member. So when the crank will rotate, the sliding member will slide. You can see here, when the crank is rotating, the sliding member is sliding inside this slotted bar, and this slotted bar is pivoted about this black portion. So it is also oscillating about this fixed point. This black, it is fixed about this black point, so it is also oscillating. So this pink one is the connecting rod. So connecting rod is attached to this slotted bar. So when the slotted bar is oscillating, this connecting rod is also moving. So connecting rod is attached to the ram. So this ram is moving forward or backward. So during the cutting stroke, the time taken is more than the time required during the return stroke. So we call it as quick return mechanism.